You're an Emmy award-winning comedian. You've been on some very high profile. You have an hour-long special on Comedy Central. People see that part, but what they don't see is all the grind and the toil
Well,
playing at
also,
small shows.
by the way, that part's not like stand-up's the lowest thing of show business. That's the lowest. That's below magician, and it's below a porn star. For a fact, it's below a porn star. Porn stars in L.A. There's like 3 ex-porn star comic. Like that's the plan B when porn doesn't work out. They go to fucking stand-up. Yeah.
Comedian?
So.
Or to go back, I feel like going back to porn would also be a lower part of Plan B. Like I'm gonna leave porn, go to stand-up comedy. If that doesn't, I'm going back
but
to
see,
porn.
it's still a job that someone might be like, oh, I could never do that. You know what I mean? Like comedy's like, oh, I could do that. Like everybody is like, it's not like somebody else said this too. I'm not the first one, but like you draw or something, people are like mystified. But everybody thinks they're funny, so. It's not. It's the one that's like not really part of show business. I would say like you could get into show business from it, which is like, and real show business doesn't look at stand up, even though, you know, they make big money on it sometimes and get like specials. It's like the agents and managers and all those people they're not making money off you touring doing stand up, so they don't care about that like that. They're like, do you have a sitcom or something to sell? So that's what the stand-up is for, is to get to that. Now, I just like doing the stand-up part myself, but...
Well, I think that's funny that you say it, because a lot of comedians, like you look at Seinfeld, Jay Leno, Chappelle, there's like some very big guys that have made it, you know, that have done very well in Hollywood, but what do they always say? Man, I miss being on stage. And, you know, you look at Seinfeld and Leno, those guys never have to work again.
Leno goes on all the time.
He goes on. He has a club in L.A. We actually saw him a couple months ago.
He goes on a lot.
But guys go back. Why is it? Why? So, like you, as you said,
yeah, well, because it's like
why do guys go back to the stage? What is it? What's the draw about being?
It's just you get into it, and then that's why I don't even think it's some kind of hard work or something. You were just gonna do it. You don't have to even be good at it. It's just like you were always gonna do it. So. But, you know, people are like, I'm thinking of getting into it. I'm like, well, then you will. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not like it certainly wasn't like my grit or something. Like, I was just always going to do it. And it, like, I wouldn't say it's like a love. Like, I think it's more like a filthy compulsion or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to go do it. I have to.
Yeah, that's what you were put on this earth to do.
It's not love, though. I think that would be a mistake if I loved it. It's almost like lust, like a dirty... I just think of it as a dirty thing I have to do.
There it is, career. There you go, kids.
Because if you try to be in love with it, it's
don't find a career you love. Find something that's like a dirty obsession.
Yeah, then you know, love is like for people and shit. Like then it's better.
But don't you think it would be like from the audience? I saw you perform not even 12 hours ago. You killed it on stage. The audience just connected with you. Don't you think it'd be unrealistic to say like, well, maybe you weren't enjoying it as much as the audience. So do you feed off of that energy? Because you sure seems like you just love being up there.
There's a good crowd at this, you know.
Yeah.
Usually private things, but not really. You know, vet stuff is not usually. I've never really had a bad.
Sure.
Maybe go to like some German base where they're like bored and they're drunk or something. That's probably maybe could be a bad show I've heard.
Yeah.
I never had a bad one, so that's different. Like. Kind of Patrice used to say, like, I kind of could appreciate a good crowd now because I did so many bad ones. So if they're just like a good crowd, I extra can appreciate why they're good now, you know? As opposed to like, you know, you start and they're good. You don't realize like what you got if it's a good crowd until you have... I've been physically attacked enough on stage at this point to be like,
this is
really...
before Will Smith.
Oh, yeah. That's why when that came out, I was like, do people not know that happens? People fucking hate you. It's the job's dealing with drunks. That's the waitress and the bouncer and you kind of the same job of you deal with alcoholics. So they'll just do whatever. You know, they're unpredictable. I don't like. It would be very hard for me to take something personally now on stage. You know, even if they suck, I'll find a way to make it my fault in my head.
What do you mean? If the crowd sucks?
Yeah, like the last time I bombed was at I mean bombed, not just had so-so. I mean like where it's
like
not a tie.
You hit the joke and it was total silence.
No, I was in Boca Raton like not long ago, maybe like 6 months ago or 7 months ago. It was like the worst bomb I had in 15 years probably. And there's always one coming, but it was outdoors. It's like usually the sound's not right and the light isn't right.
Sure.
And then the crowd, they were on these like hammock chairs. There's an outdoor thing.
Yeah.
And I guess the chairs were collapsing during the. Couldn't see it because I was blinded by the light from Die Hard that they used on the on the Nakatomi building. It was like, that sucked. And like the mayor of Boca Raton was, it was like, and then people started getting in fights. People started breaking into fights in the crowd, fist fights, unrelated to hating me. They just had their own disputes on top of they didn't like me. Because the chairs
Makes
would
it very hard
collapse.
to deliver a joke there. Like, stop fighting.
I was with this comic,
Yeah.
Kyle Grooms, who is from Miami. And he went on first, and he did like okay, kind of. Like, but he told me he was
Considering
rusty.
there were people in hammocks or chairs that were falling out, and they were fighting.
Because before, I didn't see none of that when I got on. Kyle did okay.
It's like a bad 80s sitcom, by the way, what you're describing.
Well, so we're walking back to his car, which he parked really far. We're walking through like this kind of outdoor mall, and it was like, I don't know, like 100 like college-age kind of blonde girls and maybe parents a little bit. And so they see Kyle and they start cheering like they at the top of their lungs. And they're all like grabbing him like he's the Beatle. Like, and it was so crazy how much that I thought it was he has like a local show there or something. But no, he goes, no, they were just at that show. But he goes, so they hated my guts that much, they just wanted me to see them cheering Kyle. And Kyle, he goes, they didn't even like me that much. That's a crazy They didn't even really like him. That's how bad I did this show.
That's a vindictive audience.
It was like the most.
That's people looking for a scapegoat. They just need a vent.
Well, Boca is like a dumb. If I had just, sometimes I have intel going in of what it's like.
Yeah.
If I just have a little bit, I could do it. But I just didn't have the intel on Boca that I needed, which I would have now I would have because of that bombing.
Yeah,
Like,
now
I
you
would
know
have
you're
it.
walking into a hostile audience.
It's all these dipshit retired dentists from Manalapan and their dumb trophy wives that are like honestly, God, I wish I had known everything about these people before I went.